you can just go to go live again and then select the different like LinkedIn.
No, it won't let me.
You
What?
saw like
We're live.
yeah.
Okay, so then LinkedIn maybe not this time, but that is fine. I think you need to teach me offline how to do this because
Yeah.
it went immediately to stream. But that is fine. Hi everyone. We're a little bit too early live, but I guess that's fine. Also see us being live here. Is also fine. We are here today with Ramit from Huddle. And yeah, we're going to poke some holes into him because Ramit's, like the company he works for, has come around with a major update and some really exciting new releases. But I know some of you don't even know what Huddle is. So let's get to it. Ramit, welcome. Thank you for joining us today here with the Unlock Protocol DAO. My name is, by the way, Stella Achenbach. I'm the lead steward right now at Unlock. And yeah, let's have just a good chat about some really cool and exciting new technology that is open to everyone. Ramit, how are you feeling? You
Yeah, all
okay?
good. Yeah, all good. Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks for inviting me over. Yeah. Uh,
Yes, I can hear you super well. Thank you. So, Ramit, tell us a bit about yourself. And I made this, I know I sent you the questions very spontaneous yesterday. So I have some weird questions for you to describe yourself. So if you had to describe yourself in 3 emojis, what would they look like and why?
yeah, I think like first one would be the car, like because I love driving car. Second would be lightning because kind of lightning responses I try to give, cope up with most of things. And other thing is like maybe panda because yeah, many of my friends uh, yeah dedicate that emoji to me. So yeah, so those three emojis would be good to go. Yeah.
That is really cool. I'm muting myself so we don't interrupt each other. But yeah, that is a good trio. And so Huddle, right? To make it a little bit more fun and less technical. If it would be one of your family members, which one would it be? And also, why? Can you then also elaborate a little bit more about what Huddle is as like a software itself, right? But maybe let's approach it a little bit easier for people to understand better.
Yeah, like for me, like Huddle01 would be like a big brother who is like, kind of introduce you to a new world. So kind of it's my first job at Huddle01 in the Web3 space. So getting with the Web3 space and getting to know more about like what Web3 is and how different avenues unfold, like maybe DeFi, DePIN in the past years, where I have worked in the while doing the working with Huddle01. So I think it's more like a big brother, and as like it's a meeting platform, so like a way to you maybe getting introduced to new things in your life, getting introduced to new people in your life through a meeting platform is what we provide. And yeah, having like a backup like on your shoulder, like just like a deep network powering our Huddle01 meet, always backing up the Huddle01 meet product from the infra side. So yeah, big brother kind of thing would be the best to say.
But Huddle is much more special than Google Meet or Microsoft Teams in a way, right? We at Unlock Protocol DAO have been using Huddle for, I think, yeah, since our first DAO calls actually that we started. What was this? Like not last year, almost 2 Decembers ago. So what's the what's the special part about? I mean, I know, of course, but for everyone out there, like, what's the super special part about Unlock? And maybe can you describe one or the other use case that you have seen people use Huddle specifically for?
Yeah, like I think the first way, like the way we have trying to abstract the technology, so it just feel like any other meeting platform that we have used in past. Now moving forward, we have also added Google Auth, so that has kind of bring a more like seamless experience to just log in and hop over call. And other thing that we have, because if people has connected their wallet, So for each meeting we have a detailed analytics like, hey, this is the person who attended your meeting. And I think unlock also use that thing where they just, you can just drop an NFT or just maybe use that CSV and just upload it over unlock and just drop them keys to incentivize them, or a kind of proof of attendance kind of thing that can happen very seamless. So yeah, I think this is the one of the spotlight feature that most of the communities leverage while having a community call, and later on incentivizing their user, or maybe just dropping an NFT key.
Yeah, understood. I also think it's really exciting for even individuals like artists and creators. So thinking of, we have this example at Unlock, right, where I'm currently in the process of building my own little Patreon via my website, with, of course, with the help of a developer. And just imagining, like, you do as a creator maybe office hours once a month, right? And only people who own the right membership tier can actually participate. So it's an automation that really leaves your brain space to worry about other things, I think, like even for individuals, not just for like communities or professional organizations. I think it really helps also with self-management in a way. But yeah, I think you'll have the same advantage that Unlock does, where it's like it's, whatever your imagination amounts up to, that is what you can realize with it. So, yeah, good job. Good job for putting
Yeah,
this together for all of us.
thank you, yeah. Yeah, like mainly for the creators also, like we tried to like there are like native integration with cal.com, which is a leading open source software for event scheduler. And then you can just also add a huddle add-on in your Google Calendar workspace, so just that can be seamless process. So those kind of thing also make it very seamless for one-to-one like personal users, which people tend to use also on their part. So yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, I think. And the when I first came around with the description for our event today, right? There were some stats and numbers that you had to correct, and it was an exciting correction, right? Because it said like, well, actually, on Huddle, so and so many people actually did have their calls already, and so many minutes. Will you want to? I don't know if you have the stats present right now, but would you want to repeat and just like chill and brag a little bit in between the weird questions that I put for you together?
So like I think like recently in this past month we have seen a good amount of growth. Like we have 90K plus users who have been using Huddle01 Meet, and then we have clocked around 70 million plus minutes. And probably like these are the stats for past week, so they must have changed, and like we have reached around like 100K plus users in the past month. So that's like a pretty decent kind of exponential growth that we got. And it was like from our side, I think it was a long due, because we have been building from 4 years, and have been building through all the cycles that has been in market. And this time, even if the market is not that good, but yeah, people are using our product and they are connecting with each other, and they are finally understanding what's the need of a product like Huddle01 Meet, and what's the need of a DePIN network or like Huddle01, which can power such meeting platforms or another digital connectivity related things. So yeah.
Yeah, big deal about this is that Huddle is just much more secure because of its nature and how it's built, isn't it?
So like if you see on the part, it's secure on the part, like because we have like on the authentication layer, when you join, you just have like you can just token gate your meetings if you just want to make sure like only a certain set of people connects. And also on but the part where the privacy centric, like we are do not have hold any such data of the users which invade their privacy. And also on the part where decentralizations kick in, like the different centralized operators charge a lot when they are processing minutes for a meeting platform. So as a DP network, we are able to provide those minutes for a much cheaper rate. So as a dev, if you are looking to build upon something related to real-time connectivity, or some like audio video meets, or some connecting tool, I think Huddle01 SDKs and all can be a good way to start to build upon Huddle01 DePIN. Yeah.
So don't hesitate to reach out to Ramit and the team in case you want to build up on Huddle. That's an exciting proposition, I think, because often when tech is able to welcome also developers, quite some fascinating things can happen on top of the original product. So,
Yeah.
good job. You want to elaborate a little bit more?
Yeah, no, I
You've
think
been
you put it perfectly, like, because like whenever you go from product to protocol, like there are number of use cases that open up, and there are different avenues that open up, which as a team you might not be able to focus completely because you are deep down building the infra, but people who are just using your infra can have a opportunity or have a time to different think differently, and they can build things which you might have not thought of, or have things which have such exponential growth that we see recently with Huddle01 Meet. So yeah, that's perfectly right on the part where
I find it always quite exciting. I was last week at the Y Cinco de Mayo event in Mexico City, and there was also a hackathon following the original event, and I was just hanging out, to be honest, just doing some work or trying to get some work done. A lot of young people came to me, were like, "Hey, can you look at what we're trying to build?" Right? I was like, "Yeah, but also just know I can only look at it from like a creator and user interface, user experience side of view." And they were like, "Yeah, it doesn't matter, like we just need an opinion from someone who's been around." And I'm like, "Okay, fine, I can do that." So it was fascinating, like some of the ideas that people come up with. You've been in the space for what now, like I don't know how long you've been around. How long have you been actually
I
around?
started in my first hackathon was in 2021.
Okay, yeah, I've been around since like actively really since 2019. But I want to say like entering crypto was like 2 years before that. But nonetheless, like you feel like you've seen so many projects go up, down, sideways, right? Like everything. And they still wouldn't have come up with their ideas, right? Because their ideas are fueled by personal experience, plus what they've listened to and heard about at the event. So it's the human mind never ceases to amaze, I think. So is there like I bet I think Huddle was actually created at a hackathon, is that right?
Yeah, so like we started in 2020, like the founding team, they built their first build in a ETH Global hackathon. I think it was ETH Global Hack FS 2020, and from there it started. So the all journey started from hackathon, and for personally me also, like my journey also started from a hackathon, and it's always like I always mention about it, but yeah, it started with unlock protocol. So I build something and want to track in unlock protocol. So that was like my first building product end to end, and there were some really helpful teammates around that time who helped me understand web3 from a tech perspective. And yeah, so yeah, that was really helpful, and Julian was always helpful, is always helpful, I must say. Like he always revert just in a single message. Yeah.
Oh, that's super nice to hear. No, and also it should inspire more people, right? To just like jump in and building. No matter what is your background, of course, tech in the end needs developing, right? For sure. But there's also many other parts at a hackathon that allow you to like I want to say slide into it like gradually. So if your background like mine is from like design perspective. I still participated at an East Denver hackathon like 3 years ago. This is how I met one of the organizers of East Cinco de Mayo in Mexico. This is why he invited me, right? So this is also how a network like literally grows in a very decentralized manner, and you start to know people from all over the world, which I think is very fun and exciting. So
Yeah, like that was quite fascinating for me when I started. Like for me, I was just some person, like a college student who is just about to graduate, can now just have a conversation with the someone who is leading the protocol or founded the protocol. and I can put up my thoughts over a forum, and it will be considered for discussion. So that was quite like motivating for me to like be a part of such a space where your voice is being heard at a such transparent manner, and people really care about what you think about the protocol and how it headed towards. So yeah, I think that's inherently very motivating for me to be part of this space. Yeah.
Doesn't democracy feel good? Even if it's in tech, doesn't it? Feeling heard is a very, I think, fundamental, important human need. And if we build tech that way, there is like literally no limitations to where all of this can go. So, yeah, I had the same feeling with you guys, by the way, because when I'm complaining, usually there's one of you guys around being like, hey, wait, what's the problem? Let us know. So maybe it's something we can fix. I think this is also really exciting about this space that if you're actively using a product and you see things that are not working, you're not just being, shoved into a corner like, don't bother us, right? It's more like, hey, actually, yeah, that might be a good point. Let us have a look at this, right? So I also, as a user, like I came to really, really appreciate this once I encountered it for the first, second, third time, with different protocols and types of tooling. So thank you for listening to users. That's very much appreciated. Um, all right. Yeah, actually, I'm kind of curious. Like, how does a day to day for you look like? Like, do you work from home? Do you guys have an office? Like, what is like? Describe us a day in the life of Ramit, please, at Huddle.
Sure. So like, though we work, most of us work from our home itself, but like because we have been together for like 3 to 4 years, and the founding team has been core, like not changed much. So the bond is very crucial for each of us, and so sometimes it happen like we bound to just connect at one of a city, and just we can just call, okay, we are hanging up here, just come here, and we just connect. So that kind of organic bonding is happening. Like, it's not a official team offsite that need to be announced. It's more like an official organic thing that just come from yourself, like, okay, hey, if you're in my city, let's connect, and just maybe take a drive in a car, go to some place. So yeah, that's been like the part where the cultural part at Huddle01. On the day, like my day is being more like trying to catch up with different things, because I started my journey as a dev and then delve into product and ecosystems. And so sometime I am taking product feedback from somewhere, sometime I am being active in some forum, try to get something for Huddle01, or maybe proposing some integration with Huddle01. So yeah, and then there are internal team meetings for the upcoming sprints and all. So that kind of a day I have generally at Huddle01. Yeah.
Well, you didn't let us know a lot, but I will go with it. How do you like what gets you out of bed? Because I sometimes see you online like at absolutely unholy hours. Because like our time zones, they are direct opposites. And I'm like, why is his light green on Discord? I mean, we all know this space literally never sleeps, but like how do you compensate, I guess? Like if you have like a lot of work and long hours, like there needs to be something that balances it all out so you can keep going. What's your go-to for that?
Yeah, I think like I just need those 2 to 3 hours with my friends at in my city. So I just, whenever feel like it's too much happening, so I just call any of them, and then we just hang out. And generally, like, also like my sleep routine has been just adjusted to itself, because I've been like, in the initial days it was like, if you want to have a call or connect with someone, you have to just wake up till this time, and then that became a routine, and then that became a habit. So now it's like that only, like I'm already in sync up with US time zone. So my biological clock has been set for that. So So that's the pretty much thing which makes me like able to connect with different peoples at their time, at their convenience. And yeah, like also I am a bit chronically online, so yeah.
Yeah, this is something I think I got from my husband and my parents a lot in the beginning when I started to work in this space. It's like, you don't go outside. Like, are you okay? Do you have friends? But then, like, whenever we travel to any city, I'm the one like, oh, I actually, I asked my friend XYZ to come and meet us for dinner. And my husband's like, how do you know people in every freaking city? That's like just impossible, right? And you're like, well, the power of online connection. I think, the generation of my parents just hasn't like really ingested like the idea of like closeness, even though it happens online, right? Or the feeling of alignment with others, even though you only know them from online. Would you say that your environment, like your private environment, really understands what you're doing, or is it like, does it feel maybe similar to how my environment deals with, my crazy?
In the start, like it was difficult for them, like you are not going to office, you are maybe awake at a random hour, like are you fine, like are you getting a proper sleep, or you are having trouble having a sleep. But yeah, now like it's very normal for them, like it's been normalized from them, like okay, he will wake up this at this much, because yeah, I've just said that like my clock is not working on the Indian time zone. My clock is set for US time zone, so just it works that way only, so I cannot do much of it.
Oh my God. The sacrifices we make for better technology solutions is a little bit crazy. I understand why they think we are crazy. I do understand where this is coming from. I mean, I came back sick from the conference, and then everyone was just saying like, yeah, you get a rest, right? And I was like, when? Like my entire calendar is blocked. Like when? I, I can rest at night. But yeah, it's hard to explain maybe sometimes also why this matters so much to us as like people, right? Because I have a feeling same as for you. It's also for me, it goes beyond a job, right? It like sure it pays bills and sure like you're part of like something new and exciting, but it goes way beyond that. Would you subscribe to that?
Yeah, I think it's not like just a job where I just log in and just log out. I think it's more of a process, continuous process. And it is also observable from the leadership and from the partners, like, or from the projects you are working with, like they do notice, like how you are in the job, like are you just doing it for sake of job, or are you just really into it or really mean it what you are doing. So that also kind of reflects back on you. Like if you are just very casual about it and just like, okay, I will not see your message after this time, or it's okay to put boundaries, but yeah, I think it's also a process. So like it's kind of like you have to find a fine line between them, where you just have your boundaries for your personal life to live. So you don't people do not think like you are crazy just sitting in front of laptop, but and you are also involved in the process and not just feel it as a login and logout system, like it's not a plug to on and go on and off.
Yeah, it feels like we are a tribe of founders, no? Like even if we're not the founder, we're still very involved in the entirety of those like projects. And I think that's sometimes really hard to explain for me to the outside world. I think a friend of mine, she came to visit me last year, and I explained like part of it to her, and she was nodding, right? But I could also tell that she was not understanding what I was trying to tell her. And then, I explained to her a little bit like the wider context, and she was still nodding, but I could tell, right? It went a little bit past her. And then this year she came to me and last year was this major hack, right? With Ticketmaster, I think 560 million addresses leaked and partial credit card information, all that crazy. And I think some of these events, as bad as they are, they help people to understand why we're actually doing all of this, right? Why this matters so much and why this goes beyond regular office hours or a linear schedule of sorts. Um, okay, I wanted to ask you some more questions before we actually go into a little bit of demoing, because as announced at the beginning, Huddle had some major releases, and part of it is also the Nexus. And Unlock Protocol DAO is honored to be a Nexus partner. And so we have a quest up, and we're going to show people how that quest works. But first, because you're such a busy person, is there like, I want to say, like a productivity hack? Do you use like other tools than Huddle to manage yourselves? Or like you said, you sometimes just plug out and like just meet some friends to like get back to your baseline. But I'm talking more about like the actual work part. Like how do you manage like partners and new integrations and this and that, and then coming onto a live stream with us? Like how do you do all of this?
I think for this part, I think team has been all always understanding the part the kind of role I am playing in the Huddle 1, because it's very different. Like it's not a specified kind of thing. Like I only have to do this. So they also give me enough breather to like, okay, if this thing is need to be done by this day. But yeah, they give like, if I am been you are accustomed with some other occupied with some other stuff, so okay, yeah, it's fine. Other thing is I like just tune into Spotify, just while my my best time to just settle down is, or me just going through the different forums and just listening to music and just get to know like what's going into that ecosystem. So yeah, that's kind of my enjoyable free time that I do.
You want to share your favorite playlist with us?
It's more of a like in Indian music, Bollywood music. So yeah, that's me.
Oh, it's Bollywood music. That's exciting. I figured you for maybe a lo-fi person. I was like, oh, probably he listens to lo-fi, but okay, that's cool. Maybe you should share with me so I can pin it under the post. Okay. So what's one thing about you that your colleagues at Huddle would be surprised to learn? Would you be willing to share that with us?
I think we have lived, at same places at a different time, and like I think we'll know most of the things about each other's life. First thing, like anything like that would be like the way I drive car. It's like it's not safe to drive like that, but yeah, they also enjoy it, and I also enjoyed it. So it's something like that few teammates know, and few teammates are not aware of it. So yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, you guys know each other pretty well, don't you? So I was just trying to poke, I was like, maybe I can find something. So I mean, Huddle is a video meeting tool. It's an audio meeting tool if you want to, right? If this is a fictional question, so if you could call any historical figure, of course, with Huddle, right? Who would it be and what would you ask them?
I think like it will be like Satoshi, and the question I would ask, like when he looks back to the things today, or like when he stand at this place and see like the where the space is heading, or what are the things that going live in the market. So what he feels about it, like did he imagine like this will unfold into this big thing, like starting up with that Bitcoin thing, and then this will just give a birth to a new industry itself, where a lot of people are just putting a lot of efforts, and then they are trying to do different things and achieve different things, which kind of make tech more accessible, make more affordable, more feasible, and privacy centric. So how it feels to him, looking back to the things standing right now. Yeah.
Yeah. That would be a good call to make, I think. I would be curious too. I think often inventors, engineers, invent things for the purpose of inventing to see if it works, right? Will it work? I don't think necessarily all of them have how can I call this, a tendency to think philosophically about it and into the future. I think it's more of I've seen this at hackathons. A lot of them just want to see if this thing works now, right? Can I build this? Can I build this in 30 days? Does it work? Does it do the job? I would also be curious to understand if they ever thought about this, right? And imagined a future like this. Yeah, good one. Well, this is a good one. Okay, so I think we should jump into the Huddle Nexus Partner Quest with Unlock. Right, you're good to roll. Okay, I'm also good to roll. I need to share my screen first because the quest works like this. That you will actually, Ramit, tell us how the quest works. I know how it works, but
Yeah, so like it's part of a Nexus launch that we did our like testnet phase going on. So the question is like you have to create a lock on Arbitrum using unlock protocol. Going to unlock dashboard, create a lock, then go to Huddle01 app and like create a schedule a event, token gated event using that lock, and then just invite one of your friends and spend 15 minutes over a call, and then you get rewarded with some HP, that is like huddle points. So yeah, that you can claim on testnet.huddle1.com. So yeah, that's the process.
I have a ton of Huddle points. I have like almost 20,000. I better start claiming.
Yeah, you should, yeah.
I've been a power user. Like, do you actually have a leaderboard? Do we
Yeah,
know?
yeah, in the
Yeah.
testnet phase, there is a leaderboard, like it weekly resets, and there is also a global, like you can see the global points of people. Yeah.
Again, I mean, I don't know where I'm ranking at. I have to look at it this weekend. That's the goal. But I'm super excited. I feel like maybe I'm in a good middle tranche of all of this with my
There
20,000
are
Huddle
chances
points.
like you might be in top some 100 or so, yeah, for the week, this week maybe, if you just claim it.
Okay, so I'm gonna get ready. Sharing my screen here. Um, Ramit, asking you first. Can you see my screen well?
Yes.
Yeah, good.
Yes.
Okay, so first things first, if you are on the Unlock website, unlock-protocol.com, it's actually fairly straightforward. There is a button that says Launch App. In my case, because literally my veins are connected to Unlock at this point. I'm already logged in with my wallet, right? And I have, oh my God, I have so many logs, guys. I have too many logs. I'm just going to hide them all because it's just sad. I have too many logs. So anyways, what you're going to do is you click on this button up here where it says create log, and you can create anything, right? It doesn't matter. But if you want to invite others, I would suggest you organize an event, okay? So we're going to go with this one. I did not prepare a graphic, so we're just going to check out what's in my box. Look, this looks good enough, I think. Actually, I have a better one. I have a better one from an article that I just released on my paragraph page, because this is about creativity and ownership, and it actually references Huddle as a viable alternative to Google Meet or any other video tool. So creativity and ownership, inviting friends, or whatever your message is, just know, and I think this gets sadly often overlooked, we actually have a markdown guide. So if you want this to look like somewhat more fancy, you can use markdown to actually, kind of like format your text and make it look like, I want to claim more exciting. Okay, so this will be bold. Then if you just use one asterisk, it will be cursive and stuff like this. Okay, I'm trying to bore anyone. So We're selecting Arbitrum. Remember, this is super important, right? So if you want to create an event or anything, deploy any other type of a smart contract with unlock protocol on Arbitrum, you will need Ethereum, okay? This is really important. I see this being a problem for many people all the time. Transactions on Ethereum-based networks only work if you have Ethereum. That's really, really important. So you need ETH on Arbitrum, essentially. All right. And we're going to make this event. Why not? We're going to make this next week. Okay. Because next week, Friday, I will have a live stream. I was just going to pretend that's already it. And it's going to be at probably like something like 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. And I'm the organizer. And please don't message me. You will go immediately to spam. Okay, and we will give this like, let's say let's actually do something that we did here today and set this to 10. Scarcity rules. Okay, it's a free ticket though. All right, and creating my event. With Arbitrum, this works for some reason super seamlessly. If you're launching an event on Base, I recommend manually switching your wallet to Base. Sometimes it just doesn't catch. We're looking into it. It's just something from our side or from MetaMask's end. But just saying, this causes sometimes a bit of a problem. So be aware of it. And we should be done any second now. Right. Okay, look at the event page. Oh, look at this. So this became a header 2, and this is now bold text, right? And you can further format if you look at the guide. And this is where you can send your link. And most importantly, you would want to know what is the smart contract address, right? That's what we need. So you can go back to your unlock page. Actually, I usually leave this one open so I get there faster. Sorry if that was confusing, but this is my little shortcut here. So if you can see, this is our event, right? Creativity and ownership. And this is the address you need to actually go and make your dated meeting within Huddle. So I'm sending this now in the chat to Ramit. And then he can share his screen and show the end, his end of the rainbow.
Sure. Like, so once you have got your unlock address, you just go to Huddle01.app. It will open up your personal dashboard. So you can go to schedule section. Click on schedule an event. You can have video meeting or audio space, title. You can just put a date.
Wait, it's called creativity and ownership. Don't mess this up here.
Yeah. And then you can just add also your host. If you want to add, you just have to now. This is the part where you have to be careful. Like, you click on token gate this event, and you have to make sure like you are selecting token gate with ERC721, because the unlock lock is the NFT. It's the ERC721 standard. Click on Arbitrum, paste your lock address, and just hit schedule. So it will schedule an event. You can just get this link and just share with your friends. Like, maybe I just share in the chat. And yeah, you good to go. Like, you can just go there, attend the meeting, and once you have done like completed around 15 minutes, you can go to testnet.huddle01.com. You will see this school map. Then go to West Arena. You can mute if you want, and then there will be a unlock quest. Yeah, and you can just verify, and it will claim your points. Just like this. So I have completed this quest earlier, so it claimed for me. And also, once you have gone this, you can go to profile, and we have this special unlock badge which you can also claim once you have completed the quest. So yeah, and feel free to share on Twitter, and yeah, let the world know.
That isn't a cute badge. Okay. I like it a lot. Yeah, I have to do it today because this is our meeting in which we're doing, in which I did schedule the meeting and token gated it. So yeah, very exciting quest.
Yes.
Also, really good way to just learn about a new technology and how it works. So highly recommend this to you people out there. Um, Will already says that he did it. And oh yeah, you're getting probably an echo because Ramit is not muted or I'm occasionally not muted. Is probably why. Oh, good. And yeah, just go your way forward. Don't be hesitant. Don't be afraid. Like, just try these things out. You literally can break stuff. Okay. So the worst thing that can happen is that your friends cannot enter the meeting. I guess that's the worst thing because you clicked something wrong. That's the worst thing that can happen. But you won't be breaking the internet, or like me, I broke my first Atari computer just by trying out stuff. So you can't do that. So just try, have fun, experiment, and do something out of the box this weekend by participating. Ramit, it was such a pleasure having you here with us. Thank you so much making time for us, even though you are a very busy person. Um, do you want to tell people anything else? Anything that I forgot in my questions? Anything you want to say about, I don't know, anything really? This is your space to do it.
I think like most of the people have questioned like where to start in Web3. I think the best play like always have been and will be like start with a hackathon. Just go to a hackathon, find new teammates, and find new people across the world. You will just get to know a whole lot of different perspective from different people, and form a team. Try to just take the project to the completion. Like even if it is working by a hack or like a jugaad, as we say in India. Like even if it's just need to just take it to that project to end to that submission. Get showcase amongst the judges, and yeah, I think after that it will be all like already clear to you most of the things like how to get next step. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're quite right. A lot of people don't know where exactly to start because there's like so much, right? It like feels like a wave of information when you first enter that's heading your way. But yeah, I think so too. Like, no matter your background, a hackathon is a good place to start, to meet people, to bond with people over things that you're building together, right? And eventually you grow from there. Like, probably in like not everyone is as lucky as obviously the Huddle team, like sticking together, growing, like, putting a seed in the pot and then growing it big, right? But it's a kind of like a fairy tale story out of Web3 in a way, right? But it's still a really great place to start. I agree with you. Is it like, what was your like most challenging part when you first entered Web3?
I think the first challenging part is to find a team which is serious about building a project in this hackathon. Like I like in the first hackathon, I just took some college friends and then they were just fizzle out from the space. So I recommend like make a fresh team, new team, like with new people, because then you will have a newer perspective. Like if you just like it's fine to have friend, just make team with your college groups or but that limit your perspective and limit your maybe the way you might think, because there might be like there are some very people like who are anon but they participate in hackathon just to help out people, like so that kind of people you can find if you try to make a team from scratch. And I think ETH Global do it like really well while organizing hackathons, and they can help you. They help with mentors, with teams. So yeah, that can be a good place to start.
Yeah, I mean, what's coming up shortly is ECC, right? Then later this year, there will be Dev Connect in November in Buenos Aires and in Latin America. So I think both of them are excellent places. I know in the Asian area, there will be Korean Blockchain Week and Token 2049 in Singapore. I'm not sure if they are doing specifically hackathons, but I think they have side events that do hackathons, right?
yeah, like in every such event there are side events which do hackathon, and ETH Global also do some online hackathons. So like I think ETH Online and HackFS are two of the major hackathon that run online, and I think many successful projects have come from those hackathons. Huddle01 being one, and yeah, so yeah, that's a good place to start, and to maybe good place to build over your idea that you have.
Yeah, it also puts you in a position where you need to start speaking about what you're building, right? I saw this at the Mexican event. Like builders were very encouraged to really like present and speak about their ideas and formulate like the text and stuff around it prior to the presentation, because it's equally important as building a product, right? You need to like convey your product to people who might not understand what you're trying to do, or it's too novel to them. So yeah, I think absolutely, I agree. Of course,
Yeah,
I agree. It's a good place to start. Yeah. Ramit, thank you so much for your time. Please stick around in the meeting for a few more minutes after we go offline, because I need to ask you some things.
sure.
But thank you to everyone who came and watched. And I hope you're going to try out Huddle. It's really worth starting to transition from Web 2 tooling to Web 3 tooling, because it just is more secure and it is built on infrastructure that just lasts longer by nature. So please really consider, and also just have fun with the quest for now. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye.